Welcome back. Well, very much in the news today is the issue of the wall on the border, no question about it. But also in the news, we are seeing more and more stories and hearing more stories from angel families. And these are families who have lost a loved one as a result of an illegal immigrant. Well, today we have an angel sister with us. Perhaps you have seen her or read her story earlier, but we are honored to have with us today Shellie Woods. She's an angel sister whose brother lost his life by the hands of an illegal immigrant. And her mother is a legal immigrant from England. And she's here to share with us her story and parts of the story that continue today. Shellie, thanks for your time. Good to see you. How are you?
Good to see you. Good, good. Well, it all began October 15th, 1993. My 17-year-old brother had gone to a football game, and he ended up going down to the beach with his friends. And he was a part of 9 friends as well that were of mixed races. They tried to turn this into a whole nother thing, but I won't go there. And as one of the kids had to take one of the friends home for a curfew, he ran into the gangs at the top of the hill coming into the park and punched him. So he went back down to warn my brother and his friends that there's trouble above. So they all jumped into their vehicles, and my brother shoved one gal into the center of a Suburban. So 6 of them were in this Suburban, and they met up with them, and it turned into a barrage of just, like they went through a war. They threw rocks, full beer cans, crowbars. They just demolished that car. So while all that glass is breaking, they're ducking down, which would be the normal thing to do. And one reached in with a sharpened paint roller rod and shoved it through his head, temple to temple. Now, my brother ended up, he didn't die immediately, but it was all the way through. And he was trapped in his body for nearly a month. And he could actually communicate with us with one leg muscle, which was pretty hard to deal with. Now, 6 out of 9 of these illegal aliens went to jail, had their trials and everything. 2 were tried as adults and got reversed, and it was put back into the juvenile system. The first guy got out in 2 years. Now, we're talking people here that got 9 felonies, second-degree murder, which should have been first. And so the first guy ended up going out in 2 years. We never did keep track of him. We didn't know when or anything. Then the next 2 that were put in the juvenile facility, they were already just about 18. And so they were out by 24. And where they are today, I don't know. Their families were in the vicinity of Southern California, down by the beach. Now, the issue that we have now is one named Rogelio Solis. He was deemed a psychopath in December of 15 and got denied parole. He laughs at the picture of that paint roller rod photo. The DAs attend these parole hearings for us, and then I get people to write impact statement letters. Now, that girl that my brother shoved in the middle of the seat, she killed herself after she wrote an impact statement in 15. She was so freaked out. She was 14 years old when this took place. Now, what just blows my mind is this one that's in prison right now threatens to murder my mother and I. He got denied being a psycho, for one. And then he goes and tries to get clemency from Governor Jerry Brown in California. Now, I actually don't know where that stands right now. Thousands of people wrote letters in to the parole boards and things like that, but I never heard, what I don't think he got out. But just the idea of someone being able to have that opportunity to get out of prison when they're not even remorseful, they don't have a care in the world, there's something absolutely wrong with him. And so, and as you said, my mother immigrated here. Now, all of their families, like one of them came out of a family of 15 kids. Every one of them were on the system. All 9 of the people that were there that night, and 6 got picked up, all of them were on the system. So to me, I can't I can't even understand how this is even
Wow.
possible.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Back to the one that actually killed your brother. You don't know that he's out, or do you know that he's still in?
We don't know. This one looks like, to me, I believe this one is the one because of his threatening nature. The way every crime scene was set up, um, there's a question between two of them because nobody's owning up to it because there was two paint roller rods in the crime scene, one in my brother's head. So, and they were high-fiving at the top of the hill after they did their deed. Absolutely high-fiving about the whole thing.
How did you find out, excuse me, that he was seeking clemency of all things? I mean, and that the governor would even give it a second thought?
Mm-hmm. Our DA from Orange County sent us a letter saying that this had already been sent to Governor Brown, that he was asking for clemency. So the Remembrance Project and many other people wrote and from all over the country. The Trump administration, thousands of letters went out to him. So separately, with this picture on the front of it, on ours. So for somebody to be able to look at something like that and even consider it, just I don't understand.
I don't.
And same with a lot of yeah.
It's hard to view. It really is hard to view. Here you are 25 years later, Shellie, and you see the argument that's on the front lines of our media today about border security and the wall. I don't want to be political, but you're a direct impact, you and your family, from what is going on or lack thereof on the southern border. What's your take on this argument?
I think it's absolutely necessary for a wall. Who doesn't have a wall? You know, they're just floating in here, and and they come to have their babies. This way I look, and to have these Democratic politicians to sit there and support this, I honestly hate to say this, but it's going to take it happening to one of them, because it's only a matter of time as they're coming in at that, invading us that fast. There's a lot of invasion here. Somebody's going to be affected in the political world, and I just think the wall needs to be there. No DACA. I mean, they had their chances to become legal and they don't do anything about it. I think they need to come in like my mother did and half the other angel families that came in properly and waited in line and did it the proper way.
25 years later, you have no peace in your life whatsoever, and you're not knowing where these people have been released and where they are. I don't want to give away any protection you may have, but do you have any protection at all, or are you on your own with all this?
We're on our own, but the one guy got released. Oh, geez, I want to say 3 years ago. They just it took me forever to hunt it down. They just dropped him at the border. That was it. And so I can't honestly tell you where this is going, because if this guy gets out, which eventually he will, into a sanctuary state, where is this going? Their families still live not very far from my mother's house. And with a mentality like that, I can imagine him heading right over there, not taking any time to do it. I moved from California. I live in Montana, which most of the kids that were victims that night did leave the state. So they're all over the country.
You've done a very good job in keeping your story alive and getting it out. And I would assume now, with the heightened information and awareness of this problem, you said you got thousands of letters sent to the governor on the clemency issue. I would assume that you got a lot of people aware of your story, and that in turn helps you.
It does. I think it needs to be exposed more because, unfortunately, it's who would want this, but we have, I think, the only kind of picture like that anywhere, that the picture says a million words, so you put something like that all over the media, that takes people's breaths away. And it says everything, that somebody had the mindset to do something like this and then high five about it.
It's evil.
So
it's just evil.
Yeah, completely evil. And when they're laughing, the DAs state in those parole hearings, because I ask them to be my eyes, because a lot of times I don't fly out there, because as soon as they know you're coming, sometimes they just cancel. So the DA said that they get grins on their face from ear to ear, and they are absolutely proud of what they did. To laugh at that x-ray picture, because I make sure all of that's exposed on that table in front of that parole board, and this particular one laughs at it.
Wow.
At his last 3 parole hearings, each different DA told me the same thing.
Amazing. Shellie, lastly, and most importantly, how's this impacted your faith?
Oh, I'm a very strong Christian, and I believe that you need faith to get through it. You need to have that in your life to help absorb, you know, the evil out here, which is obviously getting more evil. There's more evil coming around all the time. I don't know how some of this stuff is even allowed to happen, even where it's preventable. So, yeah, my faith is pretty strong.
Good. Well, thank you. God bless you for sharing your story. I know that it's difficult. The picture is just staggering. And please know that you're in our thoughts and prayers. Let's stay connected, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. God bless. God bless.
Bye.